right now.
Action.
It just broke as we came on the air that Matt Gaetz has withdrawn his name from consideration for Attorney General.
Why is that, Joe?
Well, there are some sordid sexual allegations made against him involving a minor. That would be among the considerations.
I'm choosing to see this as a positive because if he were to go through the vetting process, it would just be a complete bleep show.
George Will had a wonderfully descriptive line about Matt Gaetz. He looks like a sequined guitar player in a low-rent casino.
That's good.
That's exactly what he looks like.
Well, now who's next in line? Well, is this going to just be a clown show?
Well, Pete Hegseth is facing
Allegations.
renewed sexual allegations by a woman who is claiming that she was perhaps drugged. And then
This is just going to keep happening now.
and then you got Linda McMahon. Is it Linda?
Yeah, I think what we should just do is replace everybody with WWE personnel. Why not?
Right, yes.
I watched videos of her this morning getting body slammed.
You know where that was? Monday Night Raw.
And I'm not sure I've ever seen a cabinet member, potential cabinet member, get body slammed.
That's
No, the highest ranking political official that you've ever seen just refereed
That would be Jesse.
a match, yes, with Mr. Ass.
Mr. Ass was in the competition. So we live in a wonderful world. And, it's just amazing.
Come on in.
It's
Have
just
you
amazing.
noticed something else about all these people? They're all beautiful. There's not a mutt among them.
Well, Linda's, she's been around the block. I mean, that's not. But I read
I'm being
that
too generous.
I read that
yeah.
Trump is selecting people who are telegenic. It's almost as though he's casting a cast for The Apprentice.
May I make an appointment suggestion?
What?
How about the ring girl from the Tyson Paul
I
fight?
don't know why she hasn't been
I'd
chosen
put-
for something.
I'd
She
throw
can be
her in the ring.
chair of the Department of Hotness.
Yeah.
Or in charge of Hubbard Broadcasting podcast, whatever.
Right.
I'm all
This
in.
is podcast number 1458. We can have her, Joe, we can have her walk around
Wait,
here.
have we just replaced Kyle? Sorry,
That'd be
Kyle.
funny.
No. Everybody reports to her, including Kyle. Everybody does.
Oh, that'd be funny to have her circling the table with 14,
Sydney?
31.
Sydney Thomas?
I think so.
Sydney Thomas.
Yeah, they're all named Sydney. Here's the deal.
What's going on?
Here's the deal. Gaetz, he lost his congressional seat because he resigned.
Right.
And now he's not going to be nominated for Attorney General. No. He's either going to land on his feet because, again, we don't know who's running the country and we don't know what's going on. Or this was Trump's plan all along to get rid of him.
Oh.
Now, Trump does not like to be upstaged by anybody, so I don't know how long Elon Musk will last, because Musk is getting a lot of attention. So what are the possibilities for Gaetz? He goes back to Florida, and DeSantis names him a senator. I don't know what will happen to this guy. Does this mean that the allegations against him will not be pursued? I don't know. All I know is he's off the list now. And Hegseth is probably soon to follow, I would imagine. I don't know, but there's more and more coming out on Hegseth.
RFK, the babysitter.
Okay, maybe this country needs to face, as long as the country no longer has any morals or ethics.
Right.
I'm ready. Go ahead.
Should this country just ignore all sexual allegations about people?
We don't know
That come out after they're in a potential place of
Because
highness.
apparently it's getting harder and harder to find people, at least for Trump, who haven't been involved in some sexual misconduct, however alleged. Do you have something?
I was just saying undefeated, but yes, you're
What is
probably
undefeated?
right.
You know what we live? Pretty boring lives, don't we?
JFK probably was in the same boat, but the difference is there was no social media and we didn't report it back then. There was a gentleman's agreement. We'll just keep quiet.
Go ahead, John.
Well, I think there's a little difference. I don't care if guys are having sex.
I have no problem with that. But when you have allegations of assault, allegations of rape,
True.
allegations of underage
Different
females
story.
involved, then that's a different thing.
Well, I'm thinking we should even wipe that off the board. I mean, there's
No, wait, no,
You know,
God.
We don't know
Hillary
that.
ran that pedophile
We
ring
don't
out
know
of the bottom of a pizza
We
parlor.
don't know that.
Yeah.
Are these
Mad
more?
Chris.
Are they more than
Jesus.
allegations, though?
Well, what,
Has it gone beyond the allegation point?
Hegseth did settle, right, John? Out of
He did.
yep.
Out of court because he said he didn't want to lose his job at Fox because there were allegations. And the Gaetz thing yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw, he met with Republican senators who talked to him. I'm assuming they talked him out of being in the running for this. And apparently he was also shown a timeline that the ethics investigation came up with him paying for the sex with, among other people, the 17-year-old. So that is part of the ethics investigation.
I'm sure she appreciates this, but we'd like to thank Shannon Anderson for donating $100 to the Give
Oh,
to the Max.
I know
for
Shannon. Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you very much,
Awesome.
Shannon.
So with Hegseth,
Why would
was
she
there?
not appreciate it?
Just based upon the conversation.
Oh, well,
that
then
we're
don't
having.
interrupt the conversation with another name.
We said we were going to do this in real
Well,
time.
I know, but you can line them
literally
up
agreed
all at
to
one
it
time and shoot their
30
names
minutes
off.
ago.
Can you two shut up for just 1 second? Was there an NDA with Hegseth?
Yes.
Allegedly,
And so
yes.
the gal violated that? And does that
Apparently.
matter?
Yes.
Does that
Apparently,
matter to
yes.
you?
No, there's no morality left. Nothing matters to me. I'm done. I
Anyone
don't care
can see.
anymore about any of these
So
people.
people shouldn't be outraged or upset that she violated an NDA.
I don't care. Nobody follows what they're supposed to do. I don't
Okay.
care.
All right. I'm
Now we
just
have to determine,
throwing it
is
out there.
Hegseth a white nationalist? So let's go through his tattoos. Is Snopes reliable, or is that just
No,
BS
never.
too?
No, nobody's reliable.
Nobody is.
Nobody.
So, but they broke down all his tattoos. He's got he's got a join or die cartoon from 1754. That's Benjamin Franklin. He's got a patch of the 187th Infantry Regiment, of which he was a member. Is that so far so good? He's got "We the People" from the U.S. Constitution. He's got the year 1775 in Roman numerals. He's got a stylized American flag with its bottom stripe replaced by an AR-15 assault rifle.
Okay.
I don't think that's against the law.
That doesn't bother me.
He's got a ring of stars around his elbow, possibly a reference to the Betsy Ross flag. He's got a pair of crossed muskets, which normally represents military service. So far, so good.
Yeah.
He's got a red number 7 in a style one might find when playing a slot machine. Maybe that's... Now we got the Christian tattoos. We got 4 different tattoos referencing his Christian faith. This is a group that contains symbols possibly identified as problematic. None of these tattoos have direct connections to Nazi or white supremacist ideologies, though at least one has been linked to Christian nationalism. First and simplest are the Greek letters chi, X, and rho, P, in a circle on Hegseth's upper arm. Chi and rho are the first 2 letters in the Greek alphabet spelling of Jesus Christ's name, and the paired symbols have been used since Roman times to represent Christianity. All right. Then he's got a sword contained within a cross. That's a reference to the Bible passage Matthew 10:34, which reads, "Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword." Along the blade of the sword is in Hegseth's tattoo are Hebrew letters spelling Yeshua or Jesus. Matthew 10 is a chapter in which Jesus Christ tells his disciples to spread the word of God, noting later in that verse that whoever does not take up their cross and follow me is not worthy of me. The 2 tattoos most frequently cited. Now, you all were saying that Snopes is not trustworthy, but, you know, none of you morons went and looked all this up. They did.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
The 2 tattoos most frequently cited as problematic both connect to the Crusades. When European armies invaded the East with the goal of conquering Jerusalem from the Muslims and placing it under Catholic control. Was there even Catholicism then? Christian nationalists and other far-right movements have long glorified the Crusades. In a 2023 paper about the history of one particular crusade song, medieval historian and musician Kate Arnold wrote the following: the Crusades and medievalist tropes in general have a history of being appropriated in the promotion of right-wing nationalist and racist agendas from the beginnings of medieval studies and the parallel rise of romantic nationalism in the 19th century through 20th century fascist and Nazi constructions of the medieval past as a kind of ethnically pure golden age to modern-day white supremacists in the USA styling themselves alt-knights. On his right pectoral, Hegseth has a large symbol called the Jerusalem Cross, which consists of one large Greek cross and 4 small Greek crosses, one in each quadrant. It is not, as some online claimed, a swastika. Today, it's a symbol associated with the Crusades. How did he have time to ever engage in any alleged sexual impropriety? He would have spent most of his time in
Tattoo parlor.
the tattoo parlor.
Joe, it's a medieval Knights Templar cross.
Okay, Kenny. Fine. Thank you, Kenny. Although
Okay,
Snopes
Kenny.
could not
It is.
not find any medieval sources directly mentioning the cross. On his bicep, he has the words Deus vult, Latin for God wills it. That was a rallying cry of the First Crusade and may have been used by Pope Urban II in 1095 when he ordered the First Crusade to begin. During the January 6, 2021 Capitol riots, at least one flag flown read Deus vult. And there's the Deus vult. I'm looking at it now. Stopes says, this is not to say that any of these tattoos prove Hegseth is a Christian nationalist. However, the claim has surfaced for a reason. Hegseth has at least one tattoo directly referencing the Crusades, an event that many Christian nationalists glorify. In Hegseth's 2020 book, American Crusade, he directly referenced Crusades when discussing the difference between peaceful Muslims and Islamist Muslims, according to the progressive research group Media Matters. Just like the Christian crusaders who pushed back the Muslim hordes in the 12th century, Hegseth wrote, American crusaders will need to muster the same courage against Islamists today. And I would guess Mysterians would find fault with that because we're supposed to love the terrorists.
Right.
So,
And hate the Jews.
and I have all the sources. I mean, whoever wrote this went through a hell of a lot of sources. I can tell you who wrote it. Some guy from the Chicago Tribune wrote this. But the sources are 2 pages. So,
Do you buy the line that cross has been taken over by the far-right extremists?
I'm going to
White.
say this. Prior to this document, I know nothing about this cross, which I've heard referenced as the Iron Cross. I know nothing about it. Nothing. I don't know why you would have it tattooed
I
on
know
you.
nothing.
You going Sergeant Schultz on me?
No, I don't, seriously, I don't know anything about it. I don't.
The
Well,
only thing I saw when all this started was that it's been apparently supplanted by white supremacists. For instance, in Charlottesville, remember the big Charlottesville
Yes.
rally? Lots of those were flown, lots of flags. And also a gunman who killed 8 people in Allen, Texas, had swastikas and the Deus Vult tattoos on his body.
Okay, well, Hegseth has no swastikas.
No, but he's got the Deus Vult.
Right.
Deus
Vult.
Deus Vult.
Whatever.
Yeah. That's the only thing when I first
Just
read
because
about
a few jackasses and extremists have this tattoo doesn't mean that it's universally now a symbol of white supremacy. I mean, we've heard the same thing from liberals who feel triggered when they see the American flag flying because they think it's been appropriated by conservatives or Republicans are white supremacists. I mean,
Well-
that's a ludicrous contention.
Back to
and
what-
I don't accept any of that.
Back to what we've stumbled on. The mystery is the destruction of patriarchy. Patriarchy is considered to be white, and there's not a chance in hell Hegseth would pass the muster of Mysterians who would find him terribly problematic because of his advertisements for what they consider to be against their wishes, which is the demolishing of white people. We had a congresswoman, we chose not to play it, but there's video on Fox News of a congresswoman lashing out at the Republican belief that DEI is unnecessary, and she just launched into her whole history of essentially how the country is flawed because of whiteness. That's exactly what the mystery is up to. I don't see how Hegseth can pass any tests when those are the if the litmus is these tattoos, he flunks. He's not going to pass. But more problematically, he may not get passed by the Senate because of these sexual allegations against him.
Can we thank a couple more GLers?